Hello, it is me, Mr. Predictor. With my accuracy of over 97.4, I've successfully guessed depressions, recessions, armed conflicts, war, that's synonyms, war, natural disasters, presidents, and I've also guessed what score Mulan was gonna get in Rotten Tomatoes. Don't believe my predictions? Fine, don't then, asshole. Don't take my word for it. Take my word for it, but me from the past. To give a little context for the footage you're about to see, this was a clip taken from January 9th, 2021, in which I successfully predicted this about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Well, I genuinely do not think it'll be able to surpass it.
Who could have guessed? Who could have known that Ghostbusters Afterlife was not going to be as good as the original? I did. Me. No further questions at this time. We gotta predict the future. The Batman. Hey yo, the Batman? More like this movie's gonna be good, man. While I really don't know anything of Matt Reeves' filmography before, I've never seen Planet of the Apes, what I do know is he's a really fantastic director, and judging from the trailer alone, the cinematography, and the story looks fantastic. The Riddler is the perfect choice for a Batman villain. I'm so sick from the Joker and Two-Face. I'm glad we're going into a little bit more obscure Batman villains. I'd love if the next one was Mr. Freeze or something. That would be so dope. I don't think this film will be able to outdo what The Dark Knight did. I mean, dude, that scene in The Dark Knight where there are like two boats, one's full of like super nice people and the other one's full of evil murder criminals, and they both got to decide who gets to die. That shit was cinema. That was so good. That doesn't belong in a comic book movie. It was so good. I don't think the Batman will have a scene to that level of just quality. I don't think any superhero film, to be honest, has been able to match that in terms of tensions and how it relates to the supervillain, in this case Joker's plans and philosophy. I do think when this film comes out, as most films do when they first come out, that this film is going to be really overhyped critically. Like, people are going to say, oh my god, it's better than The Dark Knight. And then over time, people are going to be realizing, maybe we jumped the gun a little bit. I don't think it's as good. I do think this film will be able to outdo what Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises did, even though those two movies were also fucking cinema. I think this movie is going to be great. I really do, and I'm really excited. Honestly, one of the most hyped films on this list for me. I do like the fact that DC is trying to do more standalone-esque films that don't have anything to do with a cinematic universe. They can just stand on their own, and the director can just go wild and crazy and do whatever they want. That's what I want to see more from the future of DC. Even though I don't think we are. I kind of don't even need it to be comic book accurate or whatever. I just want a good murder mystery that you can't find the answers to in a comic book, and it's satisfying. Maybe it's a lot of good twists and turns and shit. I just want the Knives Out, but for Batman. I think though this is going to be a really solid film that's going to get a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Turning Red and Lightyear. I'm going to group these two films together because they're both Pixar's films for the year. I'm kind of loving what Pixar is doing now, which it's focusing less on sequels and spin-offs and instead focusing more on original properties with different voices from different cultures. It's really, really exciting. Luca and Soul were fucking fantastic, man. And Turning Red, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look like it's made for me, man. This feels like it's going for a completely different demographic entirely, but I'm still hyped to see it. I think the art direction specifically looks fucking fantastic, dude. It looks completely different than any other Pixar film, and that's really exciting. I feel like the art style is what I'm most excited with this movie. I don't think this film is gonna hit the same bar that Luca or Soul managed to. I think the bar's been raised too high in Pixar's last two installments, and this feels like it'll be a little bit more paint by the numbers than the other two. Again, I'm hoping I'm proven 100% wrong. I do think it will be quality. I'm gonna give it around 84, 85%? 84, let's go 84. Lightyear seems like it's playing it safe, from the casting to the... Holy shit, I just remembered that Onward existed. Fuck, dude, I completely forgot about Onward. Ending was good. Yeah, but anyways, Lightyear feels like it's playing it much more safe. Obviously, it's a known franchise and it's a spin-off to a known franchise, but I kind of like the idea. I do feel like, as far as Toy Story spin-offs go, this is definitely the most creative idea they could have gone with. The animation looks spectacular, and it seems like it's more of Pixar's excuse to make a space opera than it is to make a Toy Story spin-off. That's not true. They're absolutely just doing it to cash in on that Toy Story love, but it kind of feels that way, and I don't know. That's good. I will say though, I will not forgive Pixar for not making a sequel to Buzz Lightyear Star Command: The Adventure Begins. They could have called it Buzz Lightyear of Star Command 2. The Adventure Begins 2. I mean, you just gonna pretend Booster Moon Chopper doesn't exist? Fuck you, Pixar. To me, it's definitely playing on my nostalgia, but I mean, the quality of the trailer does admittedly look great. I also don't think this film will again reach the highs that Soul and Luca did, but I'd give it a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Other animated films that come out this year are probably gonna deserve it more, specifically the Spider-Verse sequel, but this is gonna be the film that wins an Oscar for Best Animated Picture. It sucks, but it's the reality. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I went on the record as saying Sonic the Hedgehog was gonna be terrible, and guess what? I was wrong. It was just okay. Here's a hot prediction. This film's also just gonna be okay. I think it will be better than the first one, but that's just because the trailer seems like there'll be less fucking human characters. I don't think after seeing the first Sonic movie, I could tell you a single human character besides Eggman and his fucking assistant, Dr. Stone, I think it was. I don't think I could have told you the human characters like 3 hours after I left the movie theater. They're all so forgettable. I came here to see Sonic flossing. I don't care about no police officer wanting to move his small town. I will say though, Idris Elba, perfect. He's the perfect Knuckles, we all know it. I think this film's gonna make a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's gonna do better than the previous film, but again, not by much. Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness is gonna be fucking cinema. I did not give two shits about this movie when Disney first announced it. I could care less about the first standalone Doctor Strange movie. But then they said Sam Raimi was gonna be directing it. I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Okay, you got me. Now, to be fair though, Marvel has been known to stifle creative freedoms. I mean, that's kind of the reason why they got rid of Edgar Wright in the first Ant-Man movie. And there is a huge red flag already in the sense that they already did that with Doctor Strange too. I mean, part of the reason why Sam Raimi is directing the film in the first place was because there was already creative differences with the first director, Scott Derrickson. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a huge fucking red flag for me, huge. But I do think that Sam Raimi knows how to work in the bounds of a studio who wants to stifle his creative direction. I mean, I know people hate on Spider-Man 3, but I love that movie, and Oz the Great and Powerful, despite all of its flaws, still feels like a Sam Raimi film. And that trailer alone got me really excited. I mean, the colors really pop, and the story looks pretty cool. I like the fact that the character Scarlet Witch is coming in. I hope she plays an antagonistic role. Elizabeth Olsen was fucking fantastic in WandaVision, and while I know people had problems with the finale, I feel like that show made me care about Wanda as a character. This is her We Live in a Society Joker arc. I do hope that there are some consequences Wanda has to face because of WandaVision. I mean, in the beginning of the trailer, Doctor Strange is like, I'm not here to talk about Westview. I'm like, bro, come on. Can we talk about it a little bit? Just a tiny bit? No? Okay. I do think that the X-Men and other Marvel Legacy movie characters are gonna be in it. They might be like scooping in the bottom of the barrel, Howard the fucking Duck, to see what they can get. Dude, if they actually put like the OG Howard the Duck, that's my prediction, fuck it. They're gonna stick in the OG Howard the Duck. That would be just funny as hell. That's so stupid. Oh, I love that idea, that's so dumb. I think despite this film's major red flags for me, I'm excited to see this movie. I think it's gonna have a 93% in Rotten Tomatoes. I do think Sam Raimi's a really competent director, and I think he's gonna do a great job with this. The Flash. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm the ultimate hater when it comes to Warner Brothers, bro. I think regardless of how you feel with Zack Snyder's movies, I don't think anyone could disagree with the fact that the way Warner Brothers handled it was horrendous. Okay, the original Justice League is already one of my least favorite films I think ever made. And while I do have some problems with Zack Snyder's world and his portrayal of Superman, you can't deny that these are Zack Snyder movies through and through, and that's kinda nice. The man was given a lot of creative freedom, and I kinda wish we could have seen how that story ended. I will say though, I was never a fan of his, and especially not the original interpretation of Ezra Miller's Flash. I do think he does a great job in the third act of that movie, but like, I'm not sold on that character, man. You have to do a lot to course correct that character for me, and it could be done. I just don't see it happening. It's kind of a bummer though, because I don't think this Flash could work as a standalone hero. I think he'd work best in a buddy cop type film with Cyborg specifically. That would have been great to see. Too bad Warner Brothers is legitimately evil. I am kind of bummed at the fact that this will probably wipe the slate clean of Zack Snyder's world. I mean, I do think he deserves at least 2 more movies to finish his story out. And after this, I don't think they'll ever fully go back to Zack Snyder's world entirely. I could see in 5 years we see this Spider-Man No Way Home-esque movie where the new iteration of the Justice League helps out Zack Snyder's Justice League. But it definitely won't be directed by Zack Snyder, so would it even matter at that point? I will say though, I'm a huge fan of Michael Keaton's Batman, so inject that fucking nostalgia into my veins, bro. But it's kind of sad that this will probably be the end of Batfleck's journey, and I don't think it's gonna leave for a satisfying character arc. I mean, come on, Batfleck definitely deserves like an HBO Max series. Are you kidding me? Come on. But I'm gonna be honest, all this retconning and changing direction doesn't get me excited for the future of the DCEU. What does get me excited are standalone films that don't really feel connected to the DCEU now. Stuff like the Suicide Squad, even though that's technically a part of the DCU, felt like a breath of fresh air, and I kind of wanted them to go in that direction. I forgot to give this a score, so I give The Flash 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. What the fuck am I doing? 73. Thor: Love and Thunder is definitely the hardest film to talk about in this list because it definitely feels the most like the what you see is what you get type film. This film's gonna be a blast though. Taika Waititi's such a fantastic director. Probably my favorite director in here. I mean, Jojo Rabbit fucking made me cry, dude. I love that movie. I mean, Taika Waititi was the first director to actually get me to care about Thor, and I feel like that's the same for most people. I don't think Thor was like that much until Thor Ragnarok. I know this is based off the comics where Jane Foster picks up the mantle of Thor and Natalie Portman's reported to be in this film. That's interesting. To be honest, I really don't care about Jane Foster in the slightest, but again, if Taika Waititi can get me to care about Thor, then he can definitely get me to care about Jane Foster more. I guess I'm just really excited to see how he adapts that character into the fold, because to me, she's definitely the most boring love interest of any of these movies besides like the Hulk love interest, which I forgot completely the name, and no, I will not be Googling it. I do hope there's a lot more heart and sincerity that was in Jojo Rabbit present in this movie that was kind of lacking in Thor Ragnarok. That felt like comedy for the most part through and through. I hope there are moments that are taken more seriously. I mean, it's based off a comic where Jane Foster literally gets cancer. Either way, even if it's just a full-on comedy, I know I'm gonna fucking love this film. I mean, come on, dude, the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy are in it. I mean, this is an easy win for Marvel. I'm gonna give it a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It will be fun, it will be great. I don't think it will be the best of Marvel, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. All right, now it's time for the big boy, bro. Across the Spider-Verse. Come on, easy win, easy win. I think the thing I'm most excited about this film is how they're gonna utilize animation in this one. The first film did such a great job, and in the teaser alone, we see a little bit of different art styles, and that's the thing I'm most excited for. If there's a different animation style for each fucking universe Miles goes into, that's hype as hell, dude. I mean, I love this character in this world already, so even if this film just takes place in Miles' world again, that's fine. I mean, I'd fucking love that. I don't think it's gonna win Best Animated Picture at the Oscars, because the Oscars is kind of stupid and biased and just lame. But it's gonna be a banger, and we all know it's gonna deserve it. If I had to make a prediction, this seems kind of an easy prediction, but I do feel that in either part 1 or part 2, or even in the post-credit scene of part 1, one of the live-action Spider-Man is gonna show up. Probably Tom Holland's. Maybe even all 3 at some point. But that seems like an easy prediction that will probably definitely come true. This is another year where a Spider-Man film is my most hyped for film, dude. I'm such a Spider-Man chill. I don't know what to tell you. This is easily my most anticipated film, and fuck it, I never give predictions this high, but I'm just gonna go big or go home. I think this is gonna get a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's crazy. I'm gonna stick with it though. I really hope this doesn't age badly, dude. Come on. Okay, and that's it for me, boys. If you like this type of content, cool.